Bad credit can really bring you down, especially if you're trying to buy a home. But if you've got an appetite for instruction, today I'm going to tell you about the mortgage programs that you can use to help you get your first place, even if your FICO scores are down and dirty. Tired of being told you're not creditworthy and that you'll never realize the American dream of home ownership? Welcome to the jungle of how to buy a home with bad credit, starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to Rockin' Real Estate. I'm Rob Spinoza with Guaranteed Rate. If you're a home buyer, a homeowner, or even a real estate professional looking for home finance tips, tricks, and the occasional cool guitar licks, I've got your backstage pass to a better understanding of the mortgage business. All right, so let's step back a second and take a look at the big picture of buying your first home. Qualifying for a mortgage involves a pre-approval that takes a look at three main aspects of your financial profile: your income and employment, your assets or savings, in other words, your down payment, and of course, your credit. For this video, we're going to focus on the credit piece and assume you have the other bases covered. But if you have questions about income or assets, check out the video linked above or get in touch and we'll be happy to help. Okay, so here's the thing about credit that nobody tells you. Your credit profile is more than just your FICO scores. In fact, your scores are intended to be a numeric representation of your past credit behavior. But the scoring model doesn't always get it right, and it doesn't always tell the whole story. So when we, as a mortgage lender, are approving someone for a home loan, we have to consider both the scores and the credit history. For example, if your low credit score is the result of an isolated unpaid bill from 5 years ago that has since gone to collection, that's probably going to be pretty easy for us to address and resolve and find a way to a loan approval. But on the other hand, if your bad credit is a result of multiple accounts that are currently in unpaid status, that's telling a mortgage lender that future repayment of any obligation is likely high risk. Similarly, there are several derogatory credit events, such as bankruptcy and foreclosure, for example, that have required waiting periods after their resolution. If you're looking to get a mortgage and have a history that includes any of those derogatory credit events, the lender may be more interested in the mandatory waiting periods than in your credit scores themselves. This is a good time to pause and remind you that we understand that a lot of this can be confusing, intimidating, and stressful. If you have questions or just want to talk through your situation, get in touch and we'll be happy to provide guidance. Very often, getting a loan with bad credit is more of a process than an event, and it can take time to even get into a position to have a shot at making a successful application. This effort is both normal and worth it. When it comes to credit, what you don't know can hurt you, and what you do know can help you improve. Now that we've covered the basics and you're ready to apply for a home loan, let's take a look at some of the programs you may want to consider. Conforming loans, also known as conventional loans, are the best starting point, even if you ultimately end up needing to go in a different direction. Conforming loans will accommodate credit scores under 600 in some cases, and they'll also allow for a 3% down payment for first-time buyers. Conforming loan limits can also be higher than FHA limits depending on the area. And if you make a 20% down payment on a conventional loan, regardless of your credit score, you won't be required to have any form of private mortgage insurance or PMI. FHA loans are the next program to consider if you determine that conventional is not a fit. FHA will allow FICO scores down to 580 and can be much more accommodating of the mandatory waiting periods after derogatory credit events, especially when compared to conforming. Jumbo loans can be a much harder path to loan approval. Often, jumbo loans will only permit FICO scores down to 680, though there can be exceptions. If you need a jumbo loan and have had some dings on your credit, get in touch and we'll take a much closer look. And finally, a non-QM or non-qualified mortgage might be the only way to solve a really difficult credit scenario. Non-QM loans have much more leniency in their guidelines, but this typically comes with a higher rate. As mentioned before, it's a good idea to waterfall your options by putting the most cost-effective ones first. And this is the way we prefer to work with our credit-challenged clients. The home loan process can be stressful for everyone, but especially first-time buyers. And the stress can be easily compounded if you know you have bad credit or you learn in the process that your credit profile might be a limiter. So if you have any questions about the mortgage process that will get you the financing you need, don't hesitate to get in touch at any of the links below or by calling us directly at 415-367-5959. And if you found today's video helpful, click on the like and subscribe buttons below and we'll keep the hits coming.